Hello friends, welcome back to another video. So this video is going to be very important for you, especially for the new joiners who have a bond period with them. Because I keep getting a lot of questions from you all that if you live within this bond period, do you need to actually pay the bond? Can the bond be reduced? Can the bond be totally waived off? Some of you have even told me that they have heard about people who have left the company without paying the bond. So how to do that? So I'm going to discuss about all these doubts that you have, and I hope that you find this video useful and helpful in your career if you somehow fall into this situation. So as you know, each and every company have their different policy for this bond thing. So this bond is especially for the freshers who join the company from college. Usually the experienced they don't have the bond thing, but for freshers they have a bond. So for example, some companies have 2 lakh bond for 2 years, some companies have 50,000 bond for 1 year, some companies have say 1 lakh bond for 1 year. So the bond amount varies from companies to companies. So what happens is that now suppose a company has 2 lakh bond for 2 years. Now if you want to leave the company after say 19 months, so you need to pay a certain amount of money, around 40-50,000, as for breaking the bond. Because while joining, you need to sign a training agreement, which is a legalized, notarized document. So you need to pay this bond amount before. So you need to pay this this bond amount before you leave the company if you are living in the bond period. But is it possible to waive off this thing? And the answer is yes, it is possible to waive off the bond amount. But what exactly is the procedure for doing that? So that is what I'm going to discuss now. Now for waiving of the bond period, you need to just approach your manager, and you can discuss with your manager that you want to waive off your bond amount, and or you can even reach out to your program manager. So basically the thing is that you are going to require an approval from your BU or your HR lead. So if they give the approval, then it is possible for your bond amount to get waived off, and you don't need to pay the bond amount. Now the question comes that what if you are in bench period? So this is what I'm going to tell you, that if you are in bench period, the situation becomes a bit tricky. That is because what I have seen in my company, or what I've heard from other companies also, that when you're in the bench period, you usually don't interact that much with your manager, and you don't have a good rapport with your manager, so the people don't know you, and why will the manager try to waive off bond amount for someone who he doesn't know? So that is why during the bench period, when you are not yet deployed in project, it is a bit difficult to get waiver of the bond amount, as I've said. Because they don't know you, they won't they won't fight for you to waive the bond amount. So that is why in the bench period it is a bit difficult. But if you are in project, I have seen many of my colleagues, I have seen many of my friends who have got their bond amount waived off. So the procedure is very simple. Just approach your manager or your program manager, and you need to get the required approval from the HR lead or your BU lead. So this probably differs from the policy differs from company to company, but I'm sure each and every company has certain policy with which you can get your bond amount totally waived off. So if you are in X company or Y company, I'll suggest you to reach out to your manager and talk to him or her and understand what is the process to get waived off, and I'm sure you will be able to leave the company without paying the bond amount. So it is not that if you leave the company within the bond period, you have to pay the bond amount. So you need to just find out the correct process, the correct procedure, and whom to approach. And then yes, you're free to leave the company without paying any bond period. But just you need to serve the notice period, and that is enough. So I hope that this little bit of information has been useful for you, especially if you're planning of leaving the company and you're worried whether you need to pay the bond amount or not. And yeah, do try out this approach, and I'm sure you're going to be successful. So thank you guys very much for watching this video. See you in the next one.